Hey everyone, I'm NATO King, and obviously today I'm playing God of War Chains of Olympus. This is pretty much just a supplementary video to Mega Man's LP, because rather understandably, after playing through the whole game on hard mode, he didn't want to play through on the hardest difficulty to unlock this costume, the Mime of War. I happen to have a file with it already unlocked, so I'll show you what it looks like in action. Because I don't think a picture does this justice. Oh, and I get a trophy for starting a file with a costume on. He's got the best blades. They are, as you can see, invisible. He's just punching randomly at the air, and the enemies go flying with blood spraying out of them. It's beautiful. And here we are just inside the gates of Attica, right at the start of the game, which I show because after I've killed these two guards, or actually just one of the guards, I have enough orbs to build up the blades to the second level. That's the other beauty of the Mime of War. Yes, you're killing the enemies with nothing, just whipping the air at them, but you get something like 4 times the red orbs, which allows you to build up all of your weapons and magic a lot sooner than you can in just the vanilla game. So let's see what these level 2 blades do against enemies where you're supposed to have only level 1. They die a little faster, not all that much. Figured I'd leave the boss fight in here so you can see, you can actually watch his health bar decreasing. I mean, not as much as with the Kratos costume. He's not super strong, he's just using blades that are a level higher than they're supposed to be. But still, this fight goes really quickly. I think this is pretty much the only way to replay a God of War game, actually, using whatever costume gives you extra experience. Because otherwise it's actually changing the parameters of the game itself, whereas this one, you're playing exactly the same game that you would be playing anyway, just with your weapons and magic maxed out a lot sooner. And, of course, air stabbing enemies to death. And I don't know why I have such a fascination with grabs. Probably because that's the way I got through most of the God of War games on any difficulty beyond normal. Just grabbing and throwing everything. It doesn't work on bosses, though. As you can see, this is almost finished. We don't actually have to run this guy's HP down to 0. And a bit beyond that, I had to go through most of the rest of Attica at this point, I think. Fight the Cyclops and all that. But I am now at the point where I can get the level 3 blades, so let's go ahead and do that. I absolutely love the combos that start with a strong attack. As you'll probably see, I keep trying to do them, and not always at the most appropriate times. You gotta start with a quick attack just to get the enemies off their guard. But now, I can kill an enemy with a single plume of Prometheus. And get shot in the face a couple times. But my favorite combo, you start with a quick attack, and then you go into something like Valor of Hercules. So just another quick screen to show you some of the incredible power they've got. I was actually trying to do the evading move there. Didn't work so well. But I can take 2 enemies down with a single combo, and they never even see it coming. Because the blades are invisible. And they just disintegrate into a spray of blood in the air. I admit I'm fighting pretty terribly at this point, because I'm just trying to show off some of my favorite moves. The final hit of that combo will kill the enemy by itself. And then we get this boss. Normally, at least when I'm playing, I don't know if maybe there's a way to get a couple extra bonus orbs along the way, but I can barely get the level 2 blades after getting some red orbs from this guy. Here I'm starting with the level 3 blades. So even though he doesn't have a health meter, you might notice that he goes down a little more quickly, and I completely forgot how to dodge the flames there. No worries, I've got the hang of it now. Gotta jump over him. And it takes him almost no time to retreat and start climbing up the wall. I really don't know whether it's a set amount of damage that you do or whether it's just you hit him so many times and he backs up. Because if it's just hitting him a number of times, then building up the blades here probably doesn't do a whole lot of good. And now, telekinesis in action. Yank him off the wall, and just point at a wall and make it fall on top of his head. I'm still a long way from another upgrade. But not all that long. I was actually going to cut the video after this fight, and then I figured I'd just go through and see how long it took me to get the level 5 blades. You know, normally it's somewhere just before you get the Gauntlets of Zeus and never use the blades again for any reason. When it occurs to me I should probably have been using the spinning move in the air against him there. I just don't usually use the block combos all that much, except for one of them. And I haven't got that one yet. As it is, you'll have to go back and watch the video for yourself to judge whether this fight is actually any faster than it was with the level 1 blades or the level 2 blades. I don't know if there's that much of a difference, but particularly once you start getting up into the really high levels much earlier than you're supposed to have them, you'll notice the difference. And it's even more striking with magic. I decided not to upgrade the Ifrit, mostly because I don't use it this early in the game, but also because that would have gone against my intended purpose of building up the blades quickly. So here we are after Morpheus's fog has spread over everything. Figured I'd have a go at the Siren just to show you how quickly she's taken down. That's all the effort it takes. She never even gets to attack. And I suppose that's what they would call, colloquially, force choking a bitch. I don't know if that's a proper expression or not. This is me grabbing the torch and forgetting that there's a bunch of archers standing between me and where I need to use the torch. Oops. It would have been really cool if I'd been able to make it all the way. They can shoot me all they want. They're all going down. One of them survived long enough to take a second hit. Kinda disappointing. But this is me not noticing that I've got enough red orbs to build up the blades again. And if you've played through the game and you're familiar with how far into the game this is, then you'll probably start to notice how much faster this is going on. Now we get some decent combos. So let's try out these new, fully upgraded blades, -1 level. And I have completely forgotten how to fight this guy. So I'm just going to go back to my old standby of hitting him a couple times and then blocking. And it still takes almost no time at all, with nothing but a couple quick attacks every second. There we go. And just ripping the orbs right out of his chest with Kratos' bare hands. I left this in here not because it shows off the upgraded blades at all, but because this is the only way I've ever been able to deal with these enemies. You know, I watch Mega Man just take them down with normal attacks, and I'm thoroughly impressed because I cannot do it. I have to do it with the air grab. Telekinesis is my strongest weapon. So moving on, this is what it looks like when I try to take these guys down without telekinesis. They surround me and leave me no opportunity to do anything, so I just kind of have to lean on magic the whole time. It's really sad. But then I decided to try some of the fancier upgraded blade moves. That's one of my favorites. And then this looks impressive when you can't see the blades. This one just looks sad. But then they started ganging up on me. So I finished in what I thought was kind of an amusing fashion. The evasion moves actually knock these guys up into the air. Normally you don't have them for much longer after this point. But as it is, I found it very effective in taking them down. Or rather, up. Whereupon I could slam them into the ground over and over. Don't worry, I don't use the same stupid cheap tactic on the last guy. He just kinda drops dead as I fan the air in his direction. And of course the Sun Soldiers. I hate these guys so much. At least before you get the Sun Shield and you can parry them. With fully upgraded blades, or again, close to, they go down like nobody's business. Two at once, not a problem. And I mostly show you this just to show you that there is still a little bit of effort left to kill them. That's going to go away pretty soon. I'll be killing them without even trying, starting about here. This elevator right at the beginning of the Sun Temple. And smashing those two locks was what it took to get me the orbs I needed for the final level of my blades. And the combo that's actually useful. Observe. Now you can't see what's happening here, but suffice to say that normally there would be giant explosions and enemies flying all over the place. This is Tartar's Rage, or as Kratos the Mime would probably call it, the ground pound. And stuff just kind of dies in his wake. And I don't know what happened there. I failed the minigame before the thing had even popped up. Any other combo just gives the enemies a room to attack. Tartar's Rage, they have nothing to do. There is no reason you should ever not be using this, unless it's because you're using the gloves. Okay, that one I actually legitimately failed. There's one more enemy on this elevator. And it's one of those, it's such a pain to take down, because you gotta plume of Prometheus away his shield like so. And then you get a few seconds to attack him, and if he attacks you instead, you forget how wide a range that attack has, and he gets his shield right back. So, I just Tartar's Rage at him. Kratos smash. And more force choking. Yeah, actually, I would have cut the scene right there. But as it happens, all it takes after all that fighting on the elevator is, I guess, a little flower pot that probably doesn't help things all that much. But this red chest, we've already got enough orbs to start powering up the Ifrit. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but there's nothing else that I have to upgrade right now. And then, of course, before I even get to the next save point, here's the Sun Shield, which I forgot you can only pick up from the front for some reason. It's a really thin shield. The back is where you'd normally hold it from. But you always make sure you have 1,500 orbs when you get here, because you don't want to bother using the Sun Shield without the upgrade. Because parrying is cool. But with the level 5 blades, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. I'll just ground pound these guys into oblivion. Who needs to parry? Yeah, that guy was even about to hit me with a jump, and I just took him right out of the air. And same again. It's like I'm completely unconcerned that these guys actually have the capability to attack me, because I can just rage, and they turn into red orbs. And when I get upstairs and open up all the chests there, smash a statue or two, I can upgrade the Ifrit again, right now. Now, I may not be able to get the next spell up to the highest level when I get it, I didn't check. But this is basically the content of Mega Man's first 4 videos. I'm at the same endpoint. I've got level 5 blades, I've got level 3 Ifrit, and since I got all my magic back, here you go. That's actually worth using from time to time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks Mega Man again for the LP, and I'll see you guys again in one of my own LPs. Unless I guessed again for someone else.